In this lecture, we're going to add the slider component to the health bar. I'm still working from within the enemy base prefab. Currently, our goal is to resize the fill game object. It'll represent the health of the enemy. Initially, the bar should be full to indicate the enemy has full health. As they're being attacked, the width of the fill should decrease. There are different ways of tackling this. I find the simplest way is to use a component called slider. On the health bar game object, let's add a new component. The name of the component is called slider. The slider component converts a game object into a slider. Players will be able to drag the slider back and forth. Typically, sliders are used for the settings of a game, such as adjusting the brightness. For our purposes, we're going to use it to adjust the health bar. First, we should configure the settings. The first setting is called interactable. Let's turn this option off. By turning this option on, players will be able to interact with the element by dragging the slider around. An enemy's health shouldn't be modifiable by dragging the health bar. Next, let's set the transition option to none. These settings affect the appearance of the slider as it's being moved around. The health bar shouldn't change its appearance as it moves around. Therefore, we don't need to use these settings. Setting it to none prevents the bar from changing unexpectedly. Afterward, set the navigation option to none. It's possible to interact with the slider with a keyboard or controller. Setting this option to none will prevent that from happening. Lastly, let's update the Fill Rect option to the Fill Game object from the scene. By setting this option, the slider will affect the game object's width. At the bottom of the component, we can use the value slider to change the current position. As you can see, dragging this slider causes the object's width to change. You probably guess what's next. Instead of using the component to adjust the width, we should change the width with our code. First, let's set the default width to 1. The image's width will range from 0 to 1, 0 representing 0% width, 1 representing 100% width. In the next lecture, let's set the component's value field with our code.